They say there is no greater injustice than the exploitation of another human being for profit. And modern slavery is a dark and pervasive reality for the 21st century, hidden in plain sight across the globe. Despite the progress humanity has made in advancing human rights and freedoms, millions of men, women, and children remain trapped in a cycle of exploitation and dehumanization. From forced labor in supply chains to sex trafficking and debt bondage, modern slavery takes many insidious forms, thriving in the shadows of a globalized world. Sex trafficking in particular preys on the most vulnerable, turning human beings into commodities in a brutal market of abuse and control. It is not just the traffickers who are responsible for human trafficking, but also those who look the other way. At Hope for Justice, a non-profit organization dedicated to combating human trafficking and modern slavery, estimates that modern slavery and human trafficking generate illicit profits of well over $245 billion each year. And around the globe, an estimated 27 million people are exploited for labor, services, and commercial sex. Through force, fraud, and intimidation, they are made to toil in fields and factories, in restaurants and residences, and in brothels and bistros. These demands are urgent and unwavering action. Traffickers prey on some of the world's most marginalized and vulnerable individuals, profiting from their plight, stripping them of their dignity, freedom, and basic human rights. These victims come from all walks of life, but women and girls are disproportionately affected. The crime knows no borders, occurring in every region of the world, with hotspots in Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and parts of Africa. So what are some causes of it? Poverty and lack of economic opportunities drive individuals to seek better prospects, making them vulnerable to traffickers. Gender inequality and societal norms further worsen the situation, with women and girls often facing discrimination and limited choices. Conflict, political instability, and natural disasters displace populations, creating fertile grounds for traffickers to exploit. Finally, the high demand for commercial sex fuels this illicit market. So what methods are used by traffickers? Traffickers employ various methods to recruit and control their victims. They lure individuals with false job offers, promises of a better life, and even romantic relationships. Once entrapped, victims are controlled through violence, threats, debt bondage, psychological abuse, and drug addiction. They often move frequently to avoid detection, crossing borders or traveling within countries. So what effect does it have on victims? Sex trafficking inflicts devastating harm on its victims, subjecting them to relentless physical violence, sexual abuse, and life-threatening health risks, including STIs. The damage goes far beyond the physical as victims endure profound psychological trauma, grappling with PTSD, anxiety, and overwhelming guilt. Deep scars left by this brutality are further intensified by social alienation and a profound loss of trust in others. The long-term consequences are equally harrowing as survivors face disrupted education, shattered career opportunities, and often find themselves trapped in a vicious cycle of exploitation. So what is being done about it? The global fight against sex trafficking is underpinned by international laws like the Palermo Protocol and national legislations such as U.S. Trafficking Victims Protection Act. However, the effectiveness of these frameworks is often hampered by weak enforcement, corruption, and under-resourced victim support, particularly in countries with fragile legal systems. Identifying victims remains a significant challenge due to underreporting, fear of retaliation, and a lack of awareness among victims themselves. Non-governmental organizations play a crucial role in bridging these gaps, raising awareness, providing vital services, and advocating for stronger policies. To combat this transnational crime effectively, international cooperation, robust legal enforcement, and a widespread public education are essential, supported by active engagement from both global and local communities. Innovative technologies like Thorns, Spotlight, and Solace, co-founded by Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, leverage online platforms to identify and rescue victims of trafficking. Community-based initiatives such as the Freedom Seal in the United States empower local businesses to recognize and report trafficking signs, fostering grassroots vigilance. The UNODC's Blue Heart campaign exemplifies global cross-sector collaboration to raise awareness and support victims. Other celebrities and influential figures too have dedicated themselves to advocating for the cause of combating global sex trafficking. Emma Thompson supports the Helen Bamba Foundation. Angela Jolie raises awareness in conflict zones. Priyanka Chopra protects children as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Ricky Martin fights trafficking through his foundation. And Alicia Keys champions human rights and anti-trafficking efforts. Sex trafficking is a devastating violation of human rights, a harrowing injustice that cries out for an unwavering commitment and action. And in the face of this brutal reality, we must remember that our collective efforts can spark transformative change. As Elie Wiesel so powerfully reminds us, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. We cannot afford to be indifferent. We must stand together not as bystanders, but as allies, educating ourselves and others, supporting the vulnerable, and fighting tirelessly for justice. Through our shared resolve, we have the power to end modern slavery and restore hope, dignity, and humanity to countless shattered lives. So let us be the light in their darkest hour.